Cardinals 3rd and 1 here. One timeout. Murray keeps it himself. Sneaks in. Touchdown.
Welcome to Your Valley Sports Plug and another Arizona Cardinals recap for Week 10 of the 2023 NFL season. I'm Michael Benjamin, and joining me today is VSP Tallman, here to break it all down for you. So let's get right into it. Joshua Dobbs has an incredible come-from-behind victory against the Atlanta Falcons. Oops, my bad, Tallman. That's Minnesota. After a literal historic loss in Cleveland, the Arizona Cardinals breathed new life into the fan base by announcing that Kyler Murray would finally make his debut at home against the Atlanta Falcons. His first action since tearing his ACL in Week 14 of the 2022 season against the New England Patriots. Let's break it down real quick so we can get into the good stuff. Matt Prater puts up the first points of the game with a 51-yard field goal with 4:48 left in the first quarter. Minutes into the second, Garrett Williams gets tripped up by his own player as Taylor Heineke finds Scott Miller for a 2-yard score. Prater knocks in another one, a 46-yarder with 10:32 in the second. And the Falcons go on another 75-yard drive as Tucson's own Bijan Robinson hits the corner and runs it in for a 5-yard touchdown. The Cardinals march down to end the first half, and Kyler Murray puts up his first 6 points of the year on a beautiful fake handoff. The 2-point conversion was unsuccessful, but the score at half was 14-12 Falcons. We roll into the second half as Matt Prater keeps it rolling in the third as he nails a 56-yarder. Young Ho Koo joins the kicking parade, adding a 36-yard field goal of his own. And the tush push makes its appearance once again as Clayton Tune falls into the end zone to end the third. Not much action in the fourth until Falcons quarterback Taylor Heineke goes down with a hamstring injury, and Desmond Ridder, starter for the first 8 weeks, puts Atlanta on top with a 9-yard run with 2:33 left in the game. Oh, were you worried, Cardinals fans? You shouldn't have been, because the new win pushed the Cardinals over the finish line behind some solid runs, a big pass, and milking the clock as Matt Prater knocks in a gimme 23-yarder with no time remaining. And the Arizona Cardinals win for just the second time in 2023 with a final score of 25-23 over the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to pass it over to VSP Tallman so he could tell us what he saw in the return of K1.
Yeah, Mr. Benjamin. I mean, what a difference it makes when you get your franchise quarterback and one of your best offensive players back for this game. Boy, what a great team win, though. I mean, this was probably the most excited I was to watch an Arizona Cardinals game since probably game 1 of this season. But great win for Kyler. Coming back first game after that major knee injury. Seems like he hasn't skipped a beat. You know, Jonathan Gannon told us, he said, it might not be the same Kyler that you see in this game, but I don't know what he was talking about. He looks like the same old K1 to me. But hey, exactly what the Cardinals fans wanted to see. You wanted to see Kyler come back and be like his old self. Maybe you didn't want to see that W go in the win column, but hey, this is what we needed. Obviously, this 1-8 football team, now 2-8 football team, we have no business winning football games, but we absolutely needed this for Kyler's confidence, for that locker room's confidence, and just for this fan base getting another win at home this season. I mean, hey, we went, 1-12 when Kyler was out? We won one football game without Kyler Murray, and then the first game back after his major injury, we get that W. So that's incredible stuff. But it seemed like a different team today. The energy level was high, and man, it was a blessing to have James Conner back. Finally, to have a running back that commands the defense's attention, somebody that's going to fight for every extra yard, and he did just that in his return. But our boy McBride, man, he had a great day today, starting to prove that he was worth that second-round pick. We had awesome pressure on the defensive line. Ojulari getting the 2 sacks, Gardeck adding another sack, and then Budda Baker just playing with his hair on fire all over the field. But like I said, I was so excited to watch this game today, and I was not disappointed. Great team win. I'm very glad to have K1 back.
Yeah, Tallman, I mean, I'm going to stay away from the negatives this week because we've had plenty of them to start this season. So the first thing, what great energy there was in the building today. A packed house. It seemed like it was Cardinals red all the way throughout there because people are excited to have Kyler back and to see competent quarterback play. I mean, it's crazy how much of a difference that it just makes for the simplest of things. The play action works a little bit better. We're getting guys out in space a little bit faster. Like you said, once again, I mean, Kyler didn't miss a beat. His legs keep plays alive, and you could see it in that third down when we needed it with that huge scramble. I loved him popping up and just throwing that first down arm right out there, man. That kind of stuff gets the juices flowing. One thing I will say about Kyler is it did look like he's still working out the kinks in the passing game. He just missed that toss to Hollywood in the back of the end zone. He did have some odd leading or back shoulder tries to Michael Wilson today as well. And that last ball to McBride was massively short, but the legs seemed to be back already, so it was beautiful. And I'm going back on my word. The last thing, Tallman, I do have to say one thing about the negatives. It was the penalties today, 11 for 112 yards, and they were some killers. I mean, we had a hold to stop our first drive. We have a hold on a punt return, which blows great field position for us. And obviously that pass interference from Antonio Hamilton, which puts the Falcons right in the position to take the lead late. But it's another W, and we love it. And we're going to keep trying to pull from this momentum that hopefully we gained from K1 coming back and this win today. But we know what time it is. It's time for the player of the recap. So, Tallman, who are you going with for this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the kind of easy one. I mean, I'm gonna go with Kyler Murray for my player of the recap. I did not pick him for his stat line, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. 19 of 32 passing with 249 yards. He threw one interception. He added 6 rushes for 33 yards and a touchdown. Again, not picking him for the stat line. He did fail to throw a touchdown pass, even though, I mean, I was watching it. I thought that Michael Wilson grab right at the goal line, it looked like he should have been in. I mean, they put the points on the board, and then after review, they take the points off. But I think Gannon was like, that's okay. We'll take it at the 1 because Clayton Tune, we need to give him a touchdown after he took an absolute ass whooping last week in Cleveland. So it all worked out. Everyone is happy. But reason why I'm going with Kyler, though, I mean, again, you mentioned he did make some mistakes. He had that pick that was well behind the receiver, which I think was McBride. And he did overthrow Hollywood in the end zone. And then I think he had that false start where he did that little foot shuffle and they kind of caught him on that one. But I'm going with him because it looked like classic K1 today. The pocket presence was there. I mean, you could tell he was sensing all the pressure. He was scrambling out. The arm talent and strength is still there. Like you said, he had a little bit of issues, but he's got some rust. He's getting it off, but you could tell he can still push it down the field and he can still fit it into tight windows. The scrambling, the rushing ability is there, of course. And also, it didn't seem like he was holding back on that knee. I mean, I mentioned earlier, Gannon made it sound like Kyler is not going to run at all. So when he, ripped off that fake handoff into the end zone for his rushing touchdown, I was like, damn, this guy's really going. And then you mentioned on our winning field goal drive at the end of the game, that crucial scramble to pick up that first down. I mean, looks like classic K1. So he's not saving the team season at all, but he's bringing life to the locker room. He's showing these guys, hey, let's go out there. We can win some games, because it's really hard to convince a group of grown athletes to go out there and play this blood sport and just put their life, their bodies, and their minds on the line to go and just lose every game. So you mentioned before, this is crucial for the culture. This is even better for the fan base, for the state of Arizona. So classic K1 coming back today is going to be my player of the recap.
I mean, that's it. Having K1 back, we love it. You can throw your thoughts about the future with him being a part of this franchise out the door right now. Bless you, K1. Thank you for coming back today. But my player of the recap, it has to be tight end Trey McBride. The man had 8 catches for 131 yards today, breaking a 34-year curse of a Cardinals tight end going over 100 yards. 34 years? It's been that long since the Cardinals have had a top-tier tight end, and Trey McBride is just figuring it out right now, man. Ever since Zach Ertz went down with his injury, he's taken the bull by the horns and thrust himself into this opportunity. And man, I just love his enthusiasm for the game, the energy that he brings. And he's a guy who can go up and get it, man. I love everything that he's doing right now, not only in the run game, but, getting himself open and making contributions through the air, and really excited to see how he can develop more with K1 as the season moves on. But that's it for this one. I mean, not sure if I would have said this before the season, Tallman, but don't look now. We got a fun matchup coming next week in Houston as the Cardinals head to NRG Stadium to take on CJ Stroud and the rolling Houston Texans. Can't believe it. But kickoff is slated for 11 a.m. AZ time. We're bringing you recaps every week, so make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment to stay up to date with all of the Arizona Cardinals and Valley Sports action. For VSP Tallman, I'm Michael Benjamin. We'll see y'all next week. It's a W, boys. Peace.
Cardinals fans, it's time to stand and bring in your men. Here they are, your